I'm a scat man.
Hi everyone, welcome to Castpod. I'm Ricochet, and with me is Austin, Norbit, and Ferdinand as our special guests for today. We will talk about 4 topics during this program. Stay tuned, hope you enjoy it. For our first topic, we're going to start by talking about multiculturalism. The definition known by everyone is the presence or existence of different cultures in a given time and place. So in a general sense, the whole world is considered multicultural. Thanks to globalization and migration, now almost every single place in the world is filled with different cultures. But some people may argue that the mixture of cultures forms a single one, though getting rid of the concept of multiculturalism on a specific location, such as countries. So what do you think about that?
First of all, it is important to establish that the whole world is multicultural. Seeing it from a general overview, the presence of many cultures is inevitable. Since times before Christ, there were already many existing cultures. There were wars fought for that same reason, religion, which is an essential part of most cultures. Anyway, it is true that when you look very close into a country, it is hard to pinpoint which culture is which. For instance, here in Mexico, we have Mexican culture, but we have influence from Spain, USA, and South America, just to name a few. Would that be categorized as a single culture or the presence of many?
The world right now is so subjective and individualistic. Probably you could find that every single person has their own culture. As a culture is an identity, in a sense everyone has their own identity. I think that the world is as multicultural as it can be. The mixture is mesmerizing. Your own house can be considered multicultural. If your parents are Christian and you are atheist, if you have manners, celebration, and tendencies different to your sisters that you share with someone else, it becomes a different culture.
In that case, I disagree with you, Ferdinand. A culture is also defined by its ethnic origins. You cannot make a culture. It is possible to have a sense of identity, but it is completely different. Cultures have ethnic backgrounds. If it wasn't that way, everyone will have their own culture, and that is just not possible. Mexicans have Mexican culture because they have Mexican blood in their veins. A part of their genetic code dictates what culture you are a part of. It is possible to be Austrian and live somewhere else and be influenced by that culture, but in the end, by heritage, you belong in the Austrian culture. I am not saying that everyone has to be that way. That is too conservative, but you cannot go around inventing cultures. Cultures have a root and it can transcend. They keep evolving but not creating.
Okay, I think that's enough for now. We have analyzed a series of views from our guests regarding this subject. From here, it is more personal than anything. What do you think? Send us your opinion via mail. We will go to a brief intermediate and proceed to our next topic on schedule, which is also related to multiculturalism. Stay tuned! Welcome back to Castpod. Thanks for tuning in. Our next topic on the line is interculturalism. Here to introduce us about it, Austin.
Hi everybody, I'm Austin and I will talk about interculturalism. For this topic, I will talk about 3 main things. The first one is what is interculturalism. The second thing is the interculturalism inside our country and where can we see the interculturalism in our social circle or school. Hope you enjoy it and you learn something. The most common definition for this concept is the presence and interaction of many cultures.
It is very important to compare this to multiculturalism. Both concepts talk about the existence of a variety of cultures in a certain place and a certain time. The difference resides mainly in the interactions that goes between these cultures. Normally, interculturalism results in the influence of cultures between each other. That is why now cultures are so mixed up and becoming fluid, because of our interactions with different cultures around the world. Since ancient times, it has worked that way. Buddhism was passed along through the Silk Road by interactions between silk and spices trading. That is how we grow and learn from different cultures, either for good or bad.
This concept is complementary to globalization. The interaction between cultures are part of globalization. It is the spreading of information through trade. Like the Silk Road mentioned by Ricochet, these interactions are what turn the interculturalism wheel. Because of it, we have iPhones in Mexico, even though they were invented in USA. Our ability to communicate and use this communication to survive is what eventually makes us one society in one.
Interculturalism here in Mexico is easy to see. Before, with the coexistence of many different cultures as the Aztecs, the Mayans, the Purépechas. And nowadays, with all the tourism that arrives to this country, the interculturalism is shown in the way that all cultures respect, protect, and learn from ours.
Stay tuned!
Finally, we're back to your favorite podcast. Now, we'll talk about otherness. Hello, Ferdinand. I know that you're an expert on the topic that we'll discuss right now. But first, how are you today?
Thank you, Ricochet, for that great introduction. I am very happy of being here today. Now, what is otherness? Otherness is to think in the other as a completely different individual. It is to think as another like him or her, not as another like me, because that is selfish and wrong. That is how we should think so we can empathize correctly with another person.
So, if we want to empathize with the other in a correct way, we have to think differently as we were taught.
Exactly. In fact, if we were in a situation where we have to place ourselves in the shoes of the other, that is how we need to do it. Thinking like otherness teaches us.
Actually, there are a lot of movies with a focus on this topic. One of my favorites is Children of Men from Alfonso Cuarón. In that movie, the main topic is how an ordinary man risks his life to protect a pregnant woman. And that is where the otherness appears. How this man really puts himself in the woman's shoes, and every decision he makes during the movie is taken from his perspective.
Did you know this topic already? This is a very good example of it. The way in which Theo, he is the man, acts throughout the film is clearly focused towards the otherness.
The time is almost over, Ferdinand. Would you like to say something else before we go to the break?
I would like to say that we need to start thinking in this way. The end of all conflicts that the humankind suffers can be found on the otherness. And also thank you for the invitation. And thanks to all the listeners.
This is all for today about otherness. Thanks to Ferdinand for coming here and teaching us how to be more human. We will be back after a short break. Welcome back. Now we're in our last topic. It will be about healthy tips for your daily routine. Now we have here Norbit. He's an expert in health and he's a nutritionist and has been giving health coaching conference. He will share with us his best tips. Hi Norbit, how are you?
Hi Ricochet, I'm fine. Thank you. First of all, I want to thank you for inviting me.
No, thank you for coming.
Well, I'm going to give you my best tips for keeping your life as most fit as you can.
Awesome. We'll be paying a lot of attention to your amazing tips. I know the people hearing us, you also might pay attention to have your dream bikini body.
Ha ha ha, that's a fact. With my tips, you will have an enviable bikini body. I will start. My first tip is every time a friend, son, cousin, waiter, whoever it is, and there is offering you food, you just need to move your head from right to left continuously. Here's my second tip. If the same person offering you food asks you if you are sure, Move your head up and down continuously. My third tip is to avoid eating any kind of food. Zip your mouth with a thread and a needle. If you follow these tips right as I told you, you will have your dream bikini body in less than a month.
Ha 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 ha! I'm not sure if this is serious, but what I'm sure is that it will serve you and it will show you the fastest results.
Haha, you got it right. Well, this is everything for today. Hope that I have another time in this program to share more tips with you. Thank you so much.
Obviously, you will have another time with us, and we are really thankful that you share your time with us. Thank you everybody for listening. Hope you have liked our program.